Welcome, 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 everybody, to the Closer to the Edge podcast, the anti-sleep aid for anyone sick of political self-censoring and hushed tones on the left-wing podcast at a time when we need to be loud. We're here to kick down the goddamn door with a bullhorn duct taped to a chainsaw, giving a megaphone to fighters and dissenters, as well as platform those who they want to silence.
Hell yeah, that's the host of Political Drain. He's got the bark of a sergeant, the bite of a watchdog, and zero patience for bullshit. Drill Sarge Doug. Thanks, Doug.
And from the front lines of truth with ink-stained hands and zero fucks to give, people, my co-host is Rook T. Winchester.
So buckle the fuck up.
Okay, people, listen, thank you so much for joining us on, what number are we on? This number 4, number 3?
Episode 3, episode 4?
Episode 3. I got something for you. Because we have somebody here today that's coming from Ohio, I went there to the Hall of Fame. You ever been there?
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I have not been there, but it's on my bucket list.
Okay. So I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This must have been like 3, maybe 4 years ago. And I was playing there with a band. You know, I also teach music, so I was playing there with a band, and our students were invited there. It was a whole thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm taking my camera. For those of you who don't know out there, I also do kind of like these music documentaries. I have a whole nother music channel. And I went out there expecting to have this amazing documentary about the city that built rock and roll, you know? Like what made them decide to put the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland? Trying to think of all the great rock bands from Cleveland. And as I could not think of many, I figured there's something about the air, the city that I'm going to find out when I get there. I want to show you some of these clips, and I want to get your response. I want to talk about this for just a second. I'm going to show you some of the clips of this documentary I did and see if we see the same thing. Hold on. Cleveland, Ohio, a city seemingly synonymous with rock and roll. I mean, my whole life I've just known that, and no one had to tell me. Just watch the Drew Carey Show.
Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks. Ohio.
People, I don't know if you heard, but Cleveland rocks. Clearly. It's right there in the song. It's in the bricks of the buildings that have this uniquely aged and weathered color that almost screams to everyone passing by, hey, put some more distortion on that guitar already. And while you're at it, turn it up to 11. It's even written in the rust on these iconic bridges. Look at that. Now that's rock and roll. And not that overproduced, auto-tuned top 40s rock and roll either. This is that smoking on an airplane, destroying the hotel room after boinking 3 sisters with no names, throwing a lawn chair in the public pool from the 15th floor, and somehow still getting found the next morning passed out on the front lawn when you don't even remember how you got downstairs, rock and roll.
Wow.
Now me, I love all music. That's why I started this channel. But deep down... So you get an idea of what I'm going for.
That's awesome. How long does this go for?
So this is like 30 minutes. I'm just going to show you some of these best parts. But that intro sets the stage, right? That this is what I'm thinking I'm about to find out.
You sound great. Your voice is fantastic.
Oh, I appreciate it. I wish I remembered the settings that I used for that documentary, because I noticed that it doesn't sound the same anymore. But hopefully I'm getting it closer every podcast. I'm sure our people will.
It's okay. We don't want to be too polished, Doug. We're a little raw, but that's part of the
mystique. Yeah, it's part of the mystique, my friend. Okay, so let me get you into where things go different. We touch down to Cleveland. I'm making a little video. We'll see what's going on. So we made it. And once you land in Cleveland, saying the Hall of Fame is a big deal here is an understatement. It's more like they want us to know that it's the single identity of the city itself. Everywhere you look is a reminder that the Hall is here, and don't you forget it. And like I said before, it just reinforces the idea that this is the city built on rock and roll. Curiously though, the first thing you see once the doors open to the outside, the kind of pickup area, are posters on every gate that says, "Doughboy welcomes you to Cleveland." And if you don't know who Doughboy is, well, you're not alone. I mean, this ain't pop hip-hop, guys. This is drill rap. Murder, guns, drugs, catch a body, catch a case, that kind of thing, and nothing else. And listen, to my hip-hop heads, I know that's an oversimplification, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, if you know hip-hop like I do, you know every city has this kind of underground gangster hero music. They speak the language of the very real gang life, hood stories, and the reality of poverty in every city. But the only other time I've seen these local hood stories anywhere close to the airport was when the Black Mafia family, otherwise known as BMF, literally had a billboard outside of the Atlanta Hartsfield airport. In my experience, and just my experience, this is only because in these type of cities, the underground faction isn't really that underground. In these cities, drug money and influence means political influence as much as in the neighborhood. But hey, what do I know, right? It's just my experience, and I found it curious. That picture right there, if you're watching, fans, if you're just listening, we're looking at a picture of a politician and this guy right here who was the head of the Black Mafia family. I mean, we're talking, gang, drugs, the whole nine, ran the city for a long time. Big Meech, right there in the same picture. And I put that there for that reason, right? Like when you walk outside of Cleveland, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame airport, that's all you can see. And then the first thing I see is these billboards and pictures and stuff about what's his name, Doughboy welcomes you to Cleveland. The first thing I thought was, there's something I'm not getting here. What are you thinking when you see that, brother?
Oh, who's the politician?
This guy is, years and years ago was, some labor commissioner person in Atlanta. And this was like 90s, maybe early 2000s. Right? I don't even know his name.
Yeah, it's interesting. Power attracts power, right? Or Doughboy, or even this guy, to say what their power consists of, but
it consists of money. If I was to tell you that this guy, Big Meech, at the time, his girlfriend was the mayor's daughter.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Nepotism's got a thing, That's
right?
why it's nepotism. Yeah, it's I don't know if incestuous is the word I want to use, because again, I don't know either of these people.
No, well, it's not incestuous. It's not family. But it's funny that they went. It's funny that's where you went, though, Rook. I'd like our audience to recognize that's where you went first. I'm not sure why.
Well, I meant more incestuous because, and for some reason, I don't know if I'm getting like Trump and P. Diddy vibes.
Yes. So in this documentary, here's basically what you find out, right? This girl right here, Victoria, she is the vocalist of this band that we're playing with. She comes from here, and she will tell you that, well, there's not much rock and roll here, but there is one of the best symphonies on earth. The critics, all the way from Italy to New York, will tell you that one of the best symphony orchestras is this Cleveland Symphony. There is this great bohemian district, right, where arts is financed and upheld. There is this great ballet, but the music from the streets, the music on the ground. It's not this great rock and roll city. There is extreme poverty and doughboy, and then there is symphony life and ballet. I want you guys to get the whole picture, right? Let's take a listen.
The Cleveland Orchestra, one of the best orchestras ever.
Oh, really?
Orchestra.
Really?
It's at Severance Hall in University Circle, which we're going to.
Is there a reason the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's huge?
I don't know. There used to be a lot of money in Cleveland, and that's why there's all the factories, and if we went to that graveyard, it has all the Rockefellers and everything. So that's why there's a lot of arts. It's all down to money.
Right now, we're in the Uber ride on the way to lunch. This is what we're seeing.
Yeah, downtown I feel like
Yeah, I
it's
think
either
it's
sketchy
it's
people down
touristy.
here, and yeah, I always say it. I'm like, you either work down here, or you're visiting, or you're a
Somebody
killer.
lives in every
because-
city now.
You said, or you're a
Or
killer.
you're a killer.
You work here, you're visiting, or you're a killer.
I'm sure. I always say it. I'm like, I think I've had 2 spies in my car.
Like,
Wow.
still not Detroit,
Right?
though. See that video? It's still not Detroit. Oh
No.
my god. It's a really old YouTube video, and it's a fake Cleveland tourism video, and the whole time they keep singing, still not Detroit.
That's tough. That's rough.
Ohio's always the butt of every joke. Like,
Hey, I saw a sign there that said Asia Town.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's like there's an area kind of like Urville. You guys know.
it's kind of run down now, but there's some.
It used to be really good fun.
Yeah, there's some that are still. Dagon Rice is there. They have the and they have the Asian Town Mall. I can't remember the name, but it's run down like really bad. You got to be careful. It's in a bad area. Swear to God, they just got shot in the front of that store. I think it was over a parking spot too or something. Yeah, something stupid.
Is this one of those states where everybody's got a gun and wants a
Yeah.
second one
Yeah.
and a third?
But I feel like this is a still pretty new city, though.
I don't
It's
know.
the main
Cleveland's pretty bad with the guns right now, and I think it's mainly because there's like a war going on with the police and gangs right now. So like, I live on the east side too, so it's only some of the east side. Because when you get more up into the 200s, that's where all the mansions are. And,
Yeah, you're up in Shaker Heights.
right, Shaker Heights,
Falls
and yeah, right. So kids getting the guns too. That's been a big thing that's on the rise, and they've been stealing cars like crazy. So.
Ay.
Yeah, but mind your business, you guys will be fine. Don't worry.
By the way,
Be careful. I was gonna say, if you welcome they should know.
So, are you with me so far? According to Victoria, Cleveland is well known for its Broadway-style playhouses, world-renowned orchestra, oh yeah, and don't forget the money. She said the whole is here because names like Rockefeller are buried here, and the giant factories bear the names of their friends, and those folks invest in the arts. But in the Uber, I don't think I've ever heard a driver give a tour so bleak. The Asia Town is now a bad neighborhood. The guns are in the hands of children. The cops are at war with gangs, and these are the same gangs that he belongs to, while greeting you in a sanctioned message as soon as you enter the city. What we have here is a tale of 2 cities, folks, and I'm gonna make it even more clear to you in just a moment.
Oh, I've been to the Natural History Museum. I've been to all these museums. That was what I did all the time whenever I was in school. Thank you so much.
You're very
Thank you so
welcome,
much
guys.
for the
Have
ride.
fun. Enjoy your time while you're here.
thank you. Stay safe.
All right.
I'm impressed. I mean, you did all the editing and all the filming, or
Oh yeah. Now all the filming, all the editing, all of it.
amazing.
I appreciate it. It feels good. That feels good. I hope you guys let us know what you think about pieces of this documentary here. But
Yeah, back to your documentary. I think, but yeah, that tour was bleak. I wouldn't have been able to pick it up from Detroit. but I've never been there. I even heard that Ohio is a fake state. Do you ever hear that theory?
No, never heard that. Let's go there. What's that?
People say it's. You can look it up online, and yeah, it's a fake. It's a fake state, and they say, that no one's ever been there, and if they claim to have been there, then they're just part of the propaganda to convince you that Ohio exists, because, and so it's kind of one of those things where like birds aren't real or something like that, right? So, but so there's. But I'm going to trust you. You're my podcast co-host, and if I don't believe you, then we got problems. So I'm just gonna believe you that Ohio's a real place, and that Cleveland's a real place, and that's a real museum. And so I'm in. Don't call me. I just wanted to explain the movement.
Well, now nobody really knows now, do they? It could very well be that I'm just lying to you. It could very well be, people.
You can't trust. This could just be AI. You don't know what this is.
I mean, do you really think I could do a documentary this well? Think about it, guys. This is all AI.
No, seriously, this is just fantastic, and I like the angles you take, and I like the editing, and I just can't say enough good things about this video. So
yeah, you can find that full documentary on the MC's channel. That's my other music channel, the MC's, MC''S channel on YouTube. And it's called The Truth Behind Cleveland and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Full Tour 2023. If you're watching, you can kind of see it here. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do the last part, and the last part's going to lead us, guys, into our guest today. And simply because I believe that the last part of this little documentary that I'm going to show you is exactly why someone like him is running. Check this out, and we'll go straight into the interview. This is the Cleveland Art Museum. It's not just a museum, an epic one at that. It's the public gathering place. It's a chef-inspired lunch menu and an awe-inspiring open dining area surrounded by trees and rivers. Like, the vibe is fine art and fine food and high-class people indulging in high-class things. The high-class classical music that was, and I checked, actually world-renowned. The highest-paid orchestra in America and up there in the entire world. The high-class musical theater scene. Every single restaurant, from the local pub to the hole-in-the-wall Mexican joint, was curated by chefs, steeped in history and culture, and let's not forget, priced as such. You see, these things are too gaudy to have plastered all over your airport where the average, everyday, middle-class American citizen stops by to check out your city, when the truth is, you don't have a middle class to speak of. You have the High Art Museum and Doughboy. You have $100 Japanese whiskey at the pub and a rundown, poorly invested in actual Asia town. Look, in Chapter 3, I'm going to take you into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with me, and it's amazing. But right here, in this part of the story, we're left with the reality that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has as much to do with Cleveland as this ancient Egyptian sarcophagus. It's on display here. And it's brought here by the people who have the means and the leisure to think deeply about the value and importance of art, history, and culture. And it is indeed treasured by those who know its worth, but it didn't come from here. It didn't grow up here. And it certainly doesn't represent the actual city around it. For example, right now, name 3 iconic rock bands from Cleveland. Exactly. The people in power need you to believe that it's the single identity of the city because the people in power choose to use the institution as a replacement for its desperately lacking middle-class population. And that's the point, isn't it?
That's wild. That's so good.
That's the point. I appreciate that. Your absolute bewilderment.
I'm a little speechless because that's how good it is. I just, the editing is superb, and I'm blown away by your craftsmanship here. So,
well, let's see what Lieutenant Colonel retired Malcolm Ritchie. Does he have a middle initial? Malcolm Ritchie, who is running also for Ohio's 6th or 5th district, depending on how they gerrymander it. That's who our guest is. And this shrinking middle class, this disparity between the wealthy, between, what's being portrayed in that airport and what's actually happening in the Uber could be exactly why we need someone like him. And I'm very happy to have him on here. So that's where we're going next, guys. Let's check this out. Here's the interview. Listen, guys, we have here today a fighter, someone who not only has fought for his country in 30 plus years of service, Lieutenant Colonel retired, someone who's continued the fight, gray hair and all, showing up, right? All the way from DC is where we first saw him go on stage, and even when he's not on stage, leading from the crowd, all the way to his district in Ohio, which is changing due to gerrymandering over and over again. He has not stopped fighting. Lieutenant Colonel Malcolm Ritchie is our guest today, and I want to give him the actual praise that he deserves and the flowers. When we talk about people who deserve the megaphone, he is one of them. Lieutenant Colonel retired Malcolm Ritchie, running for Ohio 5th or 6th district, depending on how gerrymandering goes. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Drill Sergeant. How are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. I'm better now. It's been a tough week, but I've been waiting for this especially. Tell me what's going on in your end of the world, man. Tell me how are things in the race? What's going on in Ohio? What is it looking like with the gerrymandering? Because I got a bunch more questions after that. But let's introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Malcolm Ritchie. I live in Dover, Ohio. I am a retired Lieutenant Colonel, Army Reserve. Did 32 years of service, 3 tours in Iraq. I was an enlisted man when I started out. Went to school, got my commission, and also I've worked 28 years in the railroad industry as a locomotive engineer. Retired from that as well. So I'm just out there campaigning for the 6th Ohio district right now, and also reaching out to other counties that I think maybe changed on me. I've already started reaching out to county Democratic parties outside of the district when they do change them. I think I got a good idea what they're going to do. And right now it's in the commission. The way it works in Ohio is first it went to the state legislature, the state house and the state senate, and they had to have a super majority to pass the redistricting. Of course, that didn't happen. They did not get the super majority because all the Democrats voted against it. So it went to the commission, and the commission is the governor, 2 Democrats from the state legislature, and 3 Republicans. And that's not going to pass either because that has to be unanimous. They all have to agree, including governor. So that's not going to happen either. So then on the 3rd iteration, it'll go to the Ohio State Legislature. Then it's a simple majority. So the Republicans are going to get what they want anyway.
Yeah.
That's where we're at with that. Now, as far as this weekend was great. The No Kings protest in New Philadelphia, Ohio, or the rally, I guess you could say patriotic rally. That's what
Yes.
The patriotic rally in New Philadelphia was the largest rally in New Philadelphia history. There was almost 800 people there from a town with a population of 18,000 people. Then I went straight from there to Youngstown, participated in the Youngstown patriotic rally for No Kings, and there was over 2,700 people at that rally in Youngstown. And I did not campaign. I just went as a participant, but I did get to speak, and I did get to talk to hundreds of people this weekend. Then I went to one of the most popular spots in Youngstown for young people to go to, called the West Side Bowl. And I was just going to stay there for a while and hand out some stuff, but they had 6 rock and roll bands and their place was packed. Yeah. So I just walked around while the bands were playing, handed out my cards with my campaign stuff. and they thought
Nice.
old man is rocking out, So the campaign is going very well. I've been able to pay all of my bills from campaign contributions for 3 months now for my, legal representation that runs my campaign account. I have a professional law firm running my campaign account. And of course, that costs over $750 a month. But the last 3 months, I have not had to pay any of my own money into that. So I'm getting the small dollar donations from MacBlue to keep me above water. So the campaign is going great. On social media, I've had over 50 million views. And,
I want to talk about that though, because you blew up. We're going to give some of that today. Because I want people to hear when it was that I think you went from being pretty big to everybody knowing that this guy is serious. And that was during the Keg's Breath and the Cankled one himself, calling those people in, calling the generals and admirals and all the flag officers in to berate them about who's fat, right? And talk about women and their inability to serve. and making sure that they were willing to shoot at civilians. Now, immediately after that, you have been off. They canceled your account. I can't find it. I've only seen you had 50,000 subscribers or something like that. It was just crazy. It's growing every day. Now down to 53. 53. I saw that you restarted it. What the hell happened, sir? What are we talking about? What happened?
I have no idea. No reason was given for banning my account. It wasn't banned on content, because if they ban it on content, you can change names to stuff and they knock it right off. You're done for good. Now, that's what they did to Amy Acton, the current candidate for Ohio governor. She was permanently banned from TikTok. Me, it was just that account that was banned, making me start over. They didn't give me any explanation. I even sent the email appeal and the appeal on the TikTok itself, because you can send them an email also and say, explain why you think your account shouldn't be banned. But when you get the account banned and not the content, you can start over again under a different name. But I've never received any word about my appeal, no response back from TikTok. And hey, you're always taking a chance with that, because the way the law is that it is a private company.
Yeah,
they can do anything they want. And hey, I got a lot of free, advertising for my personal brand. And we'll start over again and rebuild it. And, I just got to find those supporters that supported me before to come back and look at my new account.
What social platforms are you on currently?
I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky.
Okay.
Those are doing really well. Even YouTube. I mean, the views blew up. Oh, Facebook also. Facebook, okay. I went 565 followers and, maybe like 10,000 views to 60 million views and 43,000, I think, now followers. So Facebook's blowing up even more than TikTok did.
Well done. Do you also have a website for your campaign?
Yes, it's and we're still working on that. A lot of my advisors that I've met over the past many months, say I got to get on this and fix my website up, make it a little more professional. But right now my campaign manager is my wife. She devised the website, and it's good to get basic information out, but it needs to be improved. And if I
got some good news for you. But we can get into that later. I think we can help you out with the website. If you're open to it.
You might as well just get him the offer, man.
All right. So in 2018, we helped flip a district in the Midwest. It had been a red district for, I think, 90 years. We helped flip that district, and we helped with the website. We helped with the the campaign strategy, and I'm excited to help volunteer with your campaign because I really think you have a real shot here. So yeah, I can maybe get. We don't want to like put all our secrets out here into our podcast because they're good secrets. So we don't want people on the other side using them. So I kind of want to keep it close to the vest a little bit, but I do have experience in helping flip districts. So I want to offer our assistance where it makes sense.
But and we can get my email there that you have, Doug, and then also it's malcolmsritchie.com for now until we fix it up. malcolmsritchie.com, and you can take a look at that. I also had a very
absolutely
phone call with a labor organizer in Columbus last week, and they're going to schedule a meeting for me in Columbus here very soon, where I get to meet with AFL-CIO leaders, Teamsters leaders, Brotherhood Locomotive Engineers leaders. And, I've been calling them and emailing them stuff, but, it's just when you're brand new, it's going to take a while for them to notice and say, hey, this guy's worth spending some time on, spending some money on. So I did get a labor leader to call me, and they're going to fix me up with a meeting in Columbus here very soon.
You also know I'm going to be doing the campaign biopic type thing to come out before next year. What I'm saying is, by the time next year comes and it's time to vote, if we still can have one, I know that there is nobody else that I would rather be behind. And I'm telling people down there right now, yes, I'm endorsing him. I'm not saying that I don't know who else is or isn't. I'm endorsing him because, damn it, I'm going to show you why. Let's take a listen to this. Oh, before we take a listen to what you have to say here, I just realized why one of the fucking asshats that decided to come in our comment section on Political Drain and say, I'm reporting you to Cash Patel, and I'm reporting. Did you see that bullshit? You wrote something like, I love America, no King's Day, hoorah, just regular stuff. And this idiot comes in our comment section and he says, first of all, he's going to report me to Cash Patel and Pam Blondie. I'm telling daddy on you, right? And not only did I just laugh out loud upon reading that and say to myself, is it possible? Like, did this guy hear himself? I scroll down and the same person says the same thing to you. And under that, he says, I'm going to follow Charlie Kirk's message and make sure that you will never win in Pennsylvania.
Well,
and I said, okay, I hope you do that. But now I get it because you said,
yeah, Philadelphia. He must have thought Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
he's thinking what are you talking about, Pennsylvania? And now it just rung as soon as you said you were in New Philadelphia. And I was like, oh, this asshat.
That guy's going to be really happy because he's going to have prevented him from running in Pennsylvania. So good job for him. I guess we're going to focus on Ohio and he can focus his dumbass somewhere else.
Yeah, these are mostly bot farms. I've done backwards checking and stuff a lot. They're mostly bot farms. And, nobody.
Don't crush us like this. I need this guy to be real, Malcolm. I need I need him out there in Philly.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like you've done some exposés on real people that are crazy.
Oh yeah, I've got him on there too.
Yeah, I've watched this, but I mean, the only organization that would have any jurisdiction over me at all for what I'm saying as a retired officer would be the Department of Defense. There's no other jurisdiction other than that would have anything to do with it. And plus, when you got like General Hertling out there running his mouth on our side,
yeah. And he's still
going to be looking.
I think he just retired.
They're not going to be looking at little Lieutenant Colonel Ritchie when 3-star General Hertling, who, by the way, I worked for in Iraq in 2004, they're going to concentrate on those big people like that. They're not going to be concerned with me. And if they do, I got lawyers, that are ready to defend me. So I'm not even worried about it. Not even concerned.
I am not concerned at all. I am just concerned that this guy is I don't want him to be a bot, is all I'm saying. I want him to be real, and I want him to fail in life.
Yeah.
We want him to call in. Doug, do we have a call-in number? Can we have him call in? Can you put up the call-in number? Maybe just put it up the bottom of the screen and invite Dipshit to give us a call so he can tell us which state he's going to focus on.
1-888 fuck you. Right there, just call it. There it is at the bottom of the screen. I'd like you to call. I want to hear how your anti-Malcolm Ritchie campaign is going in Pennsylvania.
He's probably getting Republican money, so he's wasting Republican money on that. I get this stuff every day. I had a guy that messaged me on Facebook Messenger, called me a traitor, and said that I would go to the gallows.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I think I sent you a screenshot of that, but I just thought that was hilarious because it's like, dude, come to my house. We'll have a little talk.
That's the best. I think that's the best thing you can do is laugh at these people because they want to trigger you into some, I don't know, argument or get mad or I don't know. It's just you just laugh at them because they're just they're absurd. It's just.
Absolutely absurd.
I don't know what to say about it, but I just love the way you handled it.
They're not even agitators, I mean, a good agitator really would get you upset, but I walked around in Youngstown. I did not campaign. I walked around Youngstown in my dress blue uniform on Saturday, and this guy come up and did the same thing. I'm reporting you to the VA. I said, go ahead, please do. Reporting you to the FBI. I said, go ahead. I don't really care. Get out of my face. And then, people with the fluorescent vest came around, surrounded him, and kind of pushed him away from me. And it didn't matter at all. It just made me laugh.
But those statements, they really say something about the mindset. I'm going to report you to Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. What's really diabolical about it? Besides its humor, besides I know I can laugh it off because I'm hoping that they watch my shit so that they can go ahead and get their affairs ready for when they go to prison for crimes against this United States. I want them to have their affairs ready. But on the other side it is a permission structure. These people who come out the woodworks, if he's not a bot, and I know they're now all not bots. I know many of them are, but like you said, you've seen me done exposés on these people that have been waiting for the moment to say, I'm going to tell dad on you. You like trans people, and I've been waiting to hurt you, and I can't do it. So now I have people in office who, if you say something I don't like, I can say, I'm telling dad on you. I'm going to tell Kash Patel on you. Oh, I'm sending you to Pam Bondi. You didn't do anything wrong. I know you haven't done anything illegal. I'm watching you on YouTube not do anything illegal. And now I have the right to say, just like back in the days, the white person would have to say in the South, you don't want me to call the sheriff. Not because you've done anything illegal, but because it means I have backup of the state. My hate is now backed up by the state. And that's the diabolical part of this is that they didn't say what you're doing is illegal. I'm going to tell Kash Patel. They said, I don't like you and watch me use that.
No, it feels like second grade tattletales. Like it's just like teacher's leaving the room now. I need to put little Johnny in charge, and little Johnny's going to be just a big tattle, and not even for things that went wrong, just because Johnny's a spoiled little dick. So but, it's
and that's the truth.
Ridiculous.
It's that, but backed up by the state, right? It's that, but backed up by the state, which is diabolical. Let me show the people. I want people to hear, and this is what I use whenever I introducing people to you, because it's about time I heard somebody running for office who talks like they actually live in the same world we do, in the reality that we live in. Let's listen to what it is you had to say. I love this clip. You guys are in for a treat.
Malcolm Ritchie, Lieutenant Colonel, retired, U.S. Army Reserve, 3 combat tours in Iraq, 32 years of service. in the United States Army, Army Reserve, and Army National Guard. And I'm here today not as a candidate, making that disclaimer. I am here to express my outrage at the meeting in Quantico, Virginia, between Hegseth, Trump, and all of the senior officers in the United States military and the senior NCO Corps. Those generals, admirals, and senior NCOs sat there in stone-faced silence, listening to the most outrageous speeches ever made in United States military history by the Secretary of Defense and the President of the United States. Secretary of Defense, on his ridiculous rant, trying to take to school generals, admirals, senior NCOs with 10 times the leadership ability, the education, and the experience that the failed Major Hegseth could ever begin to understand. And then they have to listen to the cognitively declined President of the United States, who I would now name as Dictator of the United States, tell this audience that they will be expected to wage war against the American people. That's exactly what Trump said. So don't get on here and try to tell me that he didn't say it. Training grounds in American cities. What does that mean? They're going to go in locked and loaded into American cities, American neighborhoods, and use American citizens as pop-up targets on a live fire training range? This is absolutely astounding abuse of power, which makes, by my estimation, Donald Trump a domestic enemy of the Constitution.
Before we go any further, that language right there has yet to been used. I haven't seen it. That language right there has yet to be used by people who are considered seriously for positions in Congress or Senate. Why? Why? I mean, if we could do the slow clap, I would. But why the hell isn't that language that you just said? He is a domestic enemy of the state. Why can't I hear other people use that? Why are they cowards, or what are they scared of? What is it legally that I'm missing that you can get? Can you even answer that, or do you have an answer?
You asking me or Malcolm?
I'd ask Malcolm because he's the one that said it.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that I saw Ojeda using very similar language.
Yes. Okay, I'll take that.
Then this Jeremy DeVito in Alabama that I made friends with in D.C. at the Cliff Cash Fox News thing, I think he's using that language now too.
Write these names down, people. Because
more and more.
Okay.
So I think that there may have been some other retired military members who have been coming close to that. But, you know, I can't remember what each one of them have said, but there's been some very serious charges made by retired generals and flag officers. May not have got to that level, but, I mean, it's clear. It just in the last few days what he did, I mean, what he has been doing. And I also wanted to talk about some of the other folks that are involved here, too, where, you know, Pete Hegseth was on all the social media and the mainstream media with the Qatari foreign minister saying, you know, we're building a Qatari Air Force base. And then J.D. Vance got up and said, oh, that, we're not building any base. But the thing here that we need to push, which I haven't seen, is they come out and they're saying all the, you know, Democrats support Hamas and all this and that, when they are supporting Qatar, which provides refuge to Hamas leadership and provides finances to continue to fund Hamas. So it is our current government and the Qataris that are supporting Hamas not the Democratic Party, not independent voters going out and protesting on No King's Day. And you get
Facts.
nothing from the current congressmen that I may face, Michael Ruley and Troy Balderson. You hear nothing from them. They're on another vacation. They post gibberish online. They're not talking to their constituents. They're not in Washington, D.C. It's just crickets from them. Crickets. And Troy Balderson came out today and made this big press announcement that he is sponsoring this huge energy restructuring bill. And he goes into, we're going to, use our hydrocarbons again, natural gas, and, clean energy. So it means it's the complete opposite. Right. And all it is, there are no plans in there or anything. The bill is like 3 pages long when you pull it up and you look, and all it is saying that all these different departments, the Department of Energy, the EPA, what's left of it, there's not much left of the EPA, it's gutted. But Department of Energy, EPA, and other government agencies are supposed to do a study on this restructuring America energy thing. And the thing is, it's already there, but they are going to make their own plan based on what they want.
Based on who's paying them, who can pay them the most, that's all.
I mean, this will cost the American taxpayers millions and millions of dollars to come up with a new plan when they already had a plan. And that's all this bill is. We're going to come up with a new plan. Well, what is the plan? And the very same person, Troy Balderson, that sponsored this bill, probably could not tell you anything about the plan. In fact, he didn't even know the difference between a nuclear fission reactor and a nuclear fusion reactor in this bill. I mean, it's just a constant lie after lie after lie after lie. And the Speaker of the House will not convene the House because he doesn't want to bring the Democrat from Arizona into the House for that number 218 vote to get Epstein files released to the United States Congress. Reason. It's the only reason.
That is the only reason. And this is the reason why we get people in the comment section talking about they're going to stop you in Pennsylvania. They spend their life on the right now, keeping their people so uneducated, stupid, dumb. I mean, it's they spend their life and their treasure on doing one thing only: propaganda, dumbing down, delegitimizing education, intelligence of any kind, praising debauchery, praising anti-science, anything that could make you smarter, independent, self-sufficient, or independent thought of any kind. They have spent the entire last generation tearing down and destroying. And that's why where we are is where we are. It's easy to say, I've got a new bill and I'm going to bring it out there. Well, what does the bill say? Well, it's only 3 pages. Well, I remember before when there was a guy talking about 999, right? The Godfather pizza guy, right? And who said, we need to make bills smaller. Hey, as he tap danced into Big Mama's fucking house. We need to make the bill smaller. I can't read all of this. And everybody clapped. Like they've won that war. Where are we there? Where are we with coming back with the education? I know you have a nuclear plan that you want to put out, that you've been talking about for a long time on how to help both sides come together, because it can make money for the oligarchs as well as be efficient for the future. I know that right now in Ohio and Kentucky, the education is low. How are you planning on combating this? This, whatever we want to call it, I don't know what to call it. This drowning of education, science, free thought, on all levels. Or do you have a combat for it? Do you have a plan for it?
Well, here, the two congressmen now, Troy Balderson and Michael Ruley, they have no plans at all for the future of whatever two districts this is going to end up being. I'm just a candidate, and I already have a 10-point plan, and I'll give you the 10-point plan right now, and that will involve stuff to do with the Department of Education as well.
Let's do it.
But the 10-point plan that I have right now for the first 2 years that I'm in office is to work with the new Democratic caucus, which will take over the leadership of the Democratic Party in the 2026 midterm. There's going to be a bunch of us new people in there, and we will take over this caucus, and we will pick who our speaker is going to be. And I'm not saying anything bad about Hakeem Jeffries at all. I think he's an honorable man. I think he's trying to do the best that he possibly can.
Fuck that guy. Go ahead.
We're going to have new leadership regardless with this new caucus, and we're going to work on number one, free health care for all American citizens. We'll have not an affordable health care act. We'll have the free health care act.
I like it.
What we'll work on. Number two, free college or trade school for all American citizens.
I like it.
Number three, repeal the Homeland Security Act and disband the Department of Homeland Security.
Not liking that. You have to explain that one to me, but go ahead.
Repeal the 2025 Budget Act, which is that big, ugly, nasty, destructive bill.
Like that.
Redo that completely. Number five, restore government agencies to full function, which includes the Department of Education. And so we can really get back to educating our children by using the federal government to help state and local school boards and state departments of education to improve our curriculum and pay teachers an amount of pay in 2025 so that they don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. They can worry about going to school and teaching students and not have to worry about whether they're going to make it to the next paycheck the way they're paying teachers down here. Also, number six, here's the big one. We're going to impeach Trump, Vance, and the entire cabinet.
Yes.
The House of Representatives will pass impeachment articles with the majority in the House of Representatives, will impeach Trump and the vice president and the entire cabinet. And then it goes to the Senate. And if we get control of the Senate, they will all go to trial.
Yes.
And
I like it.
Guess who the president of the United States would end up being under this? If
Mike Johnson.
No.
Not Mike.
No.
Because he'll
Take
be.
over the House.
Yep.
It'll
Yeah.
be Democratic
Speaker.
Speaker of the House.
The Democratic Speaker of the House. Hey, you know what? This is how Republicans think. Democrats are too scared to think this way. Do you know that when Mitch McConnell said, you know what, I'm not going to let an actual sitting president nominate a Supreme Court justice, even though it's in the Constitution, because he was thinking way bigger than any Democrat has ever thought. And he got it. This is exactly how Republicans think. How the hell can I fuck you over as legally as, or even if it's not legally, but as much as I can push the boundaries as a lawyer can, how can I do that? While Democrats are still going, how can I make them like me? How can I make them come to my side? And Republicans are saying, how can I fuck you over to make sure I get what I want? I like that right there, sir. I'm just going to say that outwardly and proudly and say that maybe we need more people thinking like that. I want to hear more.
Yeah, we're going to get rid of all of them because this is the new caucus that's going to come in. I've talked to a lot of these candidates already. And number 7, abolish private prisons in the United States.
Oh, wait, let's stop there. Let's stop at 7. Woo! I took a sip of my, this is apple juice, YouTube. Strong apple juice, and it almost burnt my chest open when he said that. Whoa! Now, let me just say, that right there, as a black man in America, hearing that brings a little bit of sunshine to my, brings a tear to the eye. Because who else is talking about these private prisons that are now making more money than ever being built for ICE, for concentration camps. Rook, I think you guys did I don't know if it was one or two or maybe more, some articles on these for-profit prisons before. I saw them come in my email.
Yeah, I mean, as Malcolm knows, in that big, beautiful, fucked up bill, they allocated so much money for these prisons. But even before that, I mean, this whole private prison thing has gone back since, I mean, decades and decades, and they're getting their Stephen Miller's buying stock, Tom Holman's buying stock, they're buying stock in the prison industrial complex, and these private companies are just making money the same way Halliburton did off the Iraq War. It's a big grift, and the more people they have in, the more money they make. So it's all about these quotas and about snatching people off the street. So I'm really happy, and one of the reasons I'm so quiet, Malcolm, is I'm just listening because I'm so happy to listen to someone that's being specific with what they stand for instead of trying to skirt around the edges and trying to wordsmith it. I'm interested in how you would go about getting rid of. Do you have ideas on how to get rid of the private prisons?
Well, and of course, this is going to require this caucus to meet together in committees and come up with the specific plans to close the private prisons, and then also take a look at how our justice system is punishing people. There are so many legal things to look at here that it's hard to go into detail what we would actually be able to do, but this is one of my main points that I intend to work on when I get in Congress, and even before as a candidate, as I get more information on how we're going to do this. But that leads into number 8, which is also very important to what we're dealing with now, is we have to increase the number of immigration courts throughout the United States so that we can process these people through with due process of law. And instead of snatching them off the streets, they don't even know who they're going after. It's just people with brown skin. That's going to come to an end. Now, look, if we double or triple the number of our immigration courts so we can get these people through, of course, people that are not documented and are here illegally will be sent back to their nation of origin, but it will be done in a humane manner under due process of law. And then number 9, reestablish a nationwide mental health system based on number 1 with free health care. Mental health is also going to be free. And that's how we defeat the suicide epidemic and the addiction epidemic. You're never going to get rid of it all. I mean, human beings are human beings. We all know this. But if we can put a serious dent into this by refocusing our efforts in this country to have at least a highly functioning mental health facility in every county in this country, like they used to have. Now, in the past, there were abuses, terrible abuses in the state hospitals, as they called them back then. But what do they do? Instead of fixing the abuses, they just shut them all down and say, we'll just medicate people and put them on the street. It's ridiculous what they did. And people have been saying this for many, many years. But once again, the Republican Party doesn't give a shit about any of this. Only liberal or, more left-leaning type people, socialists, care about actually taking care of our poor, our vulnerable, our addicted, our mentally ill.
Yeah.
Number 10 is that rebuild the electric grid with buried cables throughout the country, which adds a level of protection to which we're very vulnerable to right now due to solar activity or the potential of a future EMP attack. I mean, they could turn the lights out in the whole daggone country for months. And what would that do to the country if we were without electricity for months? So, and that includes the new nuclear fusion technology reactors that Europe and countries in Europe and Asia, China are experimenting with right now, because it's completely doable. It's just they got to put the money into it and start building these nuclear fusion reactors instead of nuclear fission reactors. And then, of course, that could lead to a nationwide electric train system like they have in Europe and Asia already. And, you know, all this stuff's not going to get done in 2 years, of course, but at least we can start the process of making those 10 things.
Asking for more. I like it. And you're starting from a place of what you'd actually like to see, the most of it, instead of starting from the bargaining position, what I think that you're already going to like over there on the right. Like I've seen that happen so often. Like, instead of saying, no, we want free health care, you start with the Republican plan, the Affordable Care Act, so that when it becomes watered down and destroyed, it's back to nothing. Why don't you start from, we wanted it free. We want free college. We want to start there. Bernie did that, been doing that. I like to hear that. Rook?
I'm one of the ideas I'd like to hear Malcolm's thought on this, because going from what we have now to a free healthcare system seems like a lot for a lot of people. And I've thought about this, and I'm hoping maybe Malcolm will back this idea as a bridge to get us to that free healthcare system. Right now, we have Medicare for people over 65, and I rarely hear anyone complain about Medicare or the cost. It seems that everyone on Medicare is happy that they have Medicare. I'd like to introduce a Medicare for kids, and you can debate the age, 18, 20, 22, but the point would be that these kids should not have to suffer their parents' whatever's happening with their parents. If these kids are sick, they deserve free health care the same way that our elderly citizens deserve health care and our seniors deserve health care. And my thought is that this should lower premiums for families, because now their private health insurance company, or even the businesses that are paying these private premiums, they won't have to cover the kids anymore. So then, in theory, the premium should come down for businesses and families, and all kids get covered. And then we can work on that middle and shrinking it. I don't know. I would like to, that's an idea. It seems to have 70% backing. And I'm just interested in what Malcolm might think of that.
Yeah, the idea of doing programs in the short term as a bridge, like you said, to getting to eventual 100% free healthcare paid for by tax dollars. But I think we could do it actually even quicker, because if I've read through the entire 2025 nasty budget bill they called the Big Beautiful Bill. And, you know, the United States Department of Defense does not need over $1 trillion a year to defend the United States. And we can look into how we transfer these funds, because what they did, and if we get rid of the Department of Homeland Security as they are constructing it right now, there's another $1 trillion available. And then if you go to taking away tax cuts for the richest corporations and the most wealthy people in our society and actually tax them at a fair rate, then that frees up another $1 trillion. So, I mean, and this is speaking in generalities, but I looked at that 2025 budget, and that's what they did. They took all the money that they could out of all the social programs, out of the Environmental Protection Agency, all the other agencies that the fascists don't like USAID, which is a whole different thing that would have to go into a foreign policy talk to talk about the damage that is done by taking away USAID. But all those programs that they took money away from, they put it into the Department of Defense so we can have endless forever war, so we can have the President of the United States unilaterally conduct war against Iran and Venezuela without the authorization of Congress, both in what do they call that? Premeditated strikes. Am I saying the right word? They didn't do anything to us, you know, and talking about a law enforcement problem with a relatively small gang, Tren de Aragua or whatever they are in Venezuela. That's a relatively small players compared to the rest of the cartel. Everybody knows that. Everybody in the foreign policy area knows that. Everybody in law enforcement knows that. Everybody in the military knows that. All those people in the Pentagon are up there probably thinking about doing what Admiral Halsey did just a few days ago, because, you know, this attack on these fishing boats using multi-billion-dollar aircraft and munitions and stuff is just so ludicrous and illegal according to international law, the laws of war, everything.
According to moral law, just bombing people without due process, killing them is murder.
Yeah. And the Congress didn't approve these strikes. So, you know, right there, the president of the United States is clearly violating.
Well, why do they got a B-52 bomber down there? They typically use B-52 bombers to take out fishing boats, or what's that all about?
And the military of Venezuela is not a threat to invading the United States. I mean, it's
not on a speedboat. I mean, my God, it doesn't even have enough gas to get to Cuba. What are you talking about?
It's total insanity. I mean, even when they invaded Ukraine, I mean, it was well known that Ukraine could resist for a period of time, and of course, they had no idea they'd be able to be as successful in fending off Russia as they have. But the United States versus Venezuela, I mean, it just boggles the mind. And these generals, like that sat there in Quantico, got to be thinking, what in the fuck is going on here? It's some kind of bizarro dystopian science fiction world we're in, where we have.
Are they soft? Sorry, go ahead, talk. We're all trying to talk.
Go ahead. I'll let you start, Rook, and then I have a theory as to why, due to my research.
Well, I hope I don't steal your theory then, because I know that Venezuela has a lot of oil, and I know that changing the regime in a country can often result in the flow of certain money and fuels to certain countries. And I think, you know, these fishing boats are a way to soften up the American public so that by the time we maybe start bombing inland or whatever they have dreamed up next, that it won't hit as hard, because we'll have been attacking these boats for however many months. It's just I feel like it's a deliberate plan to soften up the American people so that when we do drop a bomb or blow up a house in Venezuela, that people don't get as mad.
Well, yeah, you're very, very right about that, because as we notice, it doesn't matter if you do bad things every day. You do bad things one time and everybody goes, "Can you believe he did that?" Mm-hmm. But then if you're just always horrible and disgusting and doing things, it becomes normal. Nobody ever says to Trump, "Why are you,
And not only that, they come to expect it. So when
they just come to expect it.
When it happens, they're not surprised, they're not shocked, they're not even angry anymore, because it's been happening for so long, and the abuse just is day in, day out. They want people to give up. They want people to quit caring. So I'm really happy. It's made my night to hear that Malcolm's running for Congress, and Malcolm's going to kick the pants off of whatever unfortunate opponent he lines up against.
I love him kicking the pants off of whoever's out there. But wait, before because we're gonna wrap it up. I want to give you the last word, Malcolm. But before that, I want to know if either one of you know the number one buyer of ground assault or ground weapons, guns, tanks, of ground warfare weapons from Russia. Do you know who that is? Venezuela.
Interesting.
Right. At a time right after right after Putin goes to Alaska, makes a big stink about saying, you can't touch Venezuela, goes back. And then the guy who always does what Putin says decides to bomb boats in Venezuela the next day. No. Putin is a master. What he did was say, I need you to bomb them, and I need plausible deniability. So what I'm going to do is tell you I don't want you to do that. Go home, and then you start it. And so said, so done. And between that Alaska meeting and today, Venezuela has amassed more weapons from Russia, giving them the money they need to get around all the sanctions they've been getting from every other UN country but America.
Interesting.
That's what's happening.
Throw the link in the link in the chat.
That's Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, these oligarchs were making money, because it's the same old story the last 3,000 frickin' years. They do the same thing. It's all about making money and selling arms and keeping the filthy rich even filthy richer.
Yeah.
It's, as Bernie Sanders said so many times, the problem's not just Trump and the Republican Party. The problem is 40 years of these oligarchs getting everything that they want. And here's another thing. There's so much shit going on that, I've followed this stuff my whole life, but ordinary people can't keep up with this shit. But in my industry, the next thing on the horizon, the National Labor Relations Board has just given in to doing whatever Trump tells them to do. So Norfolk Southern Railroad and Union Pacific Railroad, two of the four Class 1 mega railroads that are left in the United States, are talking about merging. Okay. This is going to make so many stockholders so filthy rich if they do that. And then what they will also do is they will be able to consolidate these two huge companies. So what will happen is that, there are facilities all throughout the country and routes throughout the country that they won't need to run anymore once they consolidate. So they'll lay off thousands of railroad workers. They'll try to bust the unions. They'll try to bust the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers, the Signalmen's Union, the Maintenance Union, the right-of-way union. They will try to collapse these unions. And when Democrats in Congress say, whoa, wait a minute, what about the Sherman Antitrust Act? Trump and the NLRB is just going to say, well, we don't care. We're letting them merge because it's all about making their oligarchs.
Because they like me. Because they came and tap danced in the White House and said, you're doing a great job, Mr. Trump. And they're going to pull another Amazon. Right now, this morning, all of the internet went down because Amazon somehow has a mistake, and everybody has relied on this monopoly they have on everything, that everything gets destroyed when one cog in the wheel goes down. I hope they're not watching now. And
This is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphys. We're here in Helsinki, Finland tonight. But do you know where we'll be on 11/22? Washington, D.C. for the Remove the Regime rally. Imagine if we got people from all the No Kings rallies around the whole country to converge on Washington, D.C. and let those in power know how we really feel right now.
I'm Cliff Cash, and on 11/22, I'm going to be in D.C. to remove the regime. I need you to be there with me. Let's do this.
I'm Jessica Denson, and on 11/22, I'll be in Washington, D.C. Remove the regime is not just another protest. We, the people, mean business. It is past time to converge on our nation's capital and demand that this administration be removed. Join me in Washington, D.C. on 11/22.
In order to remove this regime, we're going to have to show up in a big way. November 22nd, I'll be there. Don't meet me there, beat me there.
Hey, Petty Besties. It's Amanda from Cats on a Couch, and I want you to join me in Washington, D.C. November 20th to the 22nd. Bring that energy from No Kings right to the front steps of Congress and the White House.
This is Carlos with American Opposition, calling all patriots to join us in D.C. on November the 22nd. We are going to rally and demand the removal of this regime. Make sure you join us.
It's Tim, founder of the Sons of Liberty. On November 22nd, I'm going to Washington, D.C. from Atlanta, Georgia, because Trump is a fascist authoritarian, and as an American, I am anti-fascist.
I'm starting running in D.C. Let's go.
Okay, so you're going to Washington.
Yeah.
I still don't see this. I still don't see the.
Go to closertotheedge.net. Unless the feds took it down. They might have taken it down. I don't know.
We all know that the feds are watching, man. The feds are watching. Stay frosty out there, people. The feds are watching.
But yeah, I'm gonna be going out to Washington D.C. for Remove the Regime on November 22nd, and I hope everyone can get there. But I'll be going out about a week ahead of time, and I'm hoping to sit down with Donald and have an interview with him. And but I basically explained there in the article why I'm going and why I'm not going to sit here in my bunker much longer. I get out sometimes, but I need to get to DC and I need to be there all week. I need to cover. I want to go and interview Congress people. I want to go knock on their doors. I want to film it. I want to cause some good trouble.
It sounds like the right place to be. Now, we were talking before about me going with you, maybe doing the documentary. I still have some things to figure out as far as Sons of Liberty and as far as keeping our folks safe that are going down there. But that would be amazing. What are you planning on asking our dear leader when you get there, if you get a chance to talk to him?
Well, we're getting ready to publish that article. It's our formal letter. We're going to publish it online so everyone can read it here. Basically, we want to sit down with him. We saw he put up a Confederate statue in D.C. again. I think he just did that today. Or
are you serious?
I don't know. We just want to sit down with him and then we said at the end of the letter, and you can go ahead and read it, but. We said, if he doesn't reply to our letter, that we're just going to safely assume that he's a giant loser, and he's just, we'll just make certain assumptions if he does not reply to our letter, and just, I guess just make it clear that he's a big giant loser if he's not willing to sit down with us.
I love it. I'm going to read the last paragraph here before we sign off, people. You've got to go to closertotheedge.net. This is what it's all about. The great Rook Winchester. And it says, I am going for one final reason. Because you deserve a witness, not a commentator. You kept this platform alive. You gave it teeth. You gave it reach. You gave it purpose. Now I go to Washington to finish what you empowered me to start. Not to play nice, not to soften the edges, but to expose what must be exposed and tell the truth without flinching. And if there was ever a better sign off than that, I don't know it. Rook, you're doing the Lord's work, my friend. And I hope to see the rest of you there on the 22nd and meet him and maybe even both of us there.
Right on, Doug. I hope you come with me. Let's make it happen.
See what we can do, man. I would love nothing more. Signing off with chainsaws and all that shit. Till next time.